So here we go. So here's an old problem we did before, just to try to transition into what's new today. Been there, done that. This is new to our year. If I ask you, what is 3/5 of 30? Can anybody either tell me what that number would be, or talk me through how to do that, or something?
18.
It is 18. 3/5 of 30 is 18. True story. Can anybody talk through a way that you could make that happen? He got it. Somebody other than him. Anybody? Can you come up with a strategy to get us 18?
So like 5 goes into 36 times, and then 6 times 3 is 18.
We could go 5 into 30 goes 6 times, and then, what did you say?
5 is 6 times 3.
And then go 6 times 3, and we could get to 18. That could work. You could always take the bottom, divide it into the number, gets you an answer. Whatever that answer is, you could go times the top. We've been there, done that. We've done that before. That's all true. There's other ways you could do that. Excuse me. Another way you could do this, of means to multiply. This 30 is like it's over 1. If you're going to multiply fractions, it's kind of nice to
Us cancel.
cancel. 5 can cancel 30 to get 6. Just like 5 went into 30 6 times, it's the same, taking us the same place. We multiply across, we get to 18. That's fine. What's another thing we could do to 3/5? 3/5. Who's a synonym for 3/5?
0.6.
0.6. We could make the 3/5 0.6. Take 0.6 times 30. You'd still get 18. I've said this a few times lately. There's a lot of these problems. There's a lot of ways that you could do them. It's just a matter of finding something that works for you, and you do what you want. I think this is the easiest way to do it. Take the bottom, divide it into the number, multiply the top. That's what we mostly did before, but other people could have found other paths. Question about that? Okay, so how's this question different?
It's like the is just switched around with the of. And
Yeah, like the is and the of switched. So when of connects two numbers, that's a multiplication kind of thing. But if of connects a number to a mystery, that's the opposite scenario. So can anybody figure out a path, either what the number should be on this, or figure out a path to get there? It's 30's 3/5 of something. Can anybody figure out what that is? It is. It would be 50. Can anybody figure out a path to that 50 that he just got us to?
You could multiply the 3/5 by like 10. Like 10 times 3 and 5 times 10.
Yeah, maybe. That wouldn't maybe work every time, but yeah, I see what you did there. Yeah. Anybody else have a different path to somehow get to that 50?
This might be right, but make it 3/5. Wait. I think I did it wrong. Never mind.
Okay, it's fine. Anybody figure out a path to get to the 50? Basically, when I changed the sentence up, we're doing the opposite thing now in some way, so something to do with opposites. What we've done before, some this year, when we have mystery numbers, they started off the year, they put like the big empty box. What did we replace the big empty box with at some point? Like at the beginning of the year, they might have said A plus mystery box equals 10, and make you figure out the mystery box. It'd be 2. But later in the year, we discarded the mystery box, and they stopped doing this. What did they start doing instead of the box of mystery? They'd start to do letters. Those letters were called variables. And anytime you encountered a variable, you'd always have to do the opposite. Okay, so what we need to think about here is this is, we don't know this number. That's kind of like the mystery box, or that's kind of like a variable. we're gonna have to somehow do the opposite of what we were doing before. Can anybody think of a way to take our system from before and somehow do something opposite? And then it's gonna still pan out, something that can get us to 50. Yeah.
You could flip the fraction.
Yeah, because instead of multiplication, we're doing dividing. So if we're dividing, we've got like a flip the fraction kind of moment. That's the exact right idea. So instead of the number dividing by what originally was on the bottom, we'd actually divide by the top. We'd get an answer, and then we multiply not by the top like we were before, but we multiply by the bottom. The fraction is essentially going upside down. We've got a flip going. So here we could go 30 divided by the
Top
3 makes
10,
10 times
5.
50. Yeah, that should work every time for us. Another way you could do this, you could have made this a 0.6. You were starting to do that. The 0.6, just instead of multiplying like I showed a minute ago, this we'd have to divide. We could divide 0.6 into 30. 0.6 into 30 would get you 50. Because if we divide decimals, this has to be a
That's it.
whole number, so move that over. And if we move over the divisor,
Move it over.
move over the dividend, 6 into 300, it would play out at 50. You know, we could put this over 1. We could flip this upside down. You could start canceling. That would get you, there's tons of ways you could do this. However you do it, it's going to be the opposite of how we did the old questions. Okay? So what we have to just keep straight in our memory for future quizzes, tests, and days is if the word of separates two numbers, go into your old memory banks, old stuff, old ways we did this. If you go with the of connecting a fraction and a mystery number, we've got to do the opposite thing. If you want to jot this note down to get you through your homework today, you're going to be gold. Just take the number, divide by the top, get an answer, multiply by the bottom, we're good. Try to seal that process in and we'd be fine. But if you have to logic it out some other day, there's a lot of ways you can do it. It's just the opposite of what we used to do. Question about the scheme? So 1, 2, 3, I got 9 questions. Let's see if we can get 9 different people to answer 9 different things. Somebody on this one, we're going to do number divided by the top, then multiply the bottom. Somebody hit that one up. Yep. It is 80. So we're going the 3 into the 30s, 10, times the 8, that's 80. Anybody lost about the 80? Tell you again, replay how to do the 80. Here's another thing you should look at. The old questions, if you got a fraction of something, the answer always had to be compare how. What's the word compare a hint toward? Yeah. So how does the answer compare to the original if I give you a fraction of something? The answer's got to be
Out of 30.
yeah, but more or less. It's got to be smaller. If I give you a fraction of something, you didn't get the whole thing, it's got to be smaller than where we came in. But if I tell you 30 is 3/5 of something else, like I put 30 items in your hand, and that's 3/5 of something that I own, the amount I own had to be something bigger than what you got. So the old questions always made the numbers smaller. These are opposites today. Make sure we're getting an answer that's bigger. So if I go to do this question and I try to tell you it's like 12, is that possible or is that crazy? Possible? That's crazy. Why would 12 be crazy?
Because that's smaller.
That's smaller than where I came in with 15.
Oh, I thought it was about
What if I said it's like, 22? Possible or crazy? That's possible. Maybe that's not exactly right, but that's not crazy. So if I go to do this one and I say 32,
possible.
possible. 10?
Yeah.
Crazy. it's gotta be a bigger number. If we got 25 items in our pocket and it's 5/6 of a larger world, we need to go up in something. New person here, not the person who gave us the 80, but somebody else hit us up with this one. Yep.
40.
Then try again. What did you do first?
I divided 15 3,
Yeah, gets you
5.
with that, yep. And then,
Do I do 5 times 4?
yes,
20.
that's it, yep. We got it. And that's bigger, so we like it. The 40 was bigger too, it just didn't hit the nail on the head. You good? Somebody, that one hit it? It is 30. We're doing 25 dividing 5, that makes a 5. Multiply the bottom, there's a 30, you know, we got bigger. Question about that? If you have good math sense, some people are born with that more than others, the numbers should kind of feel possible as well. I mean, if you think about, if you got 5/6 of something, you got most of it. So if you got 25 out of 30, that feels like you got most of it if you got 5/6 of it. 3/8, about how much is 3/8? What's 3/8 kind of close to? If you try to picture 3/8, like about how much is that? You can picture it. Yeah. It's like close to a half, a little more or a little less than a half. Is 3/8 a little more than a half or a little less than a half?
Less.
A little less than a half. So if you have 30 out of 80, is that a little less than a half?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of feels right. Some people are better at that than others, so I'm just saying if that's a thing that a skill you possess, test out your number sense. 3/4, you got most of it. 15 out of 20, is that like about getting most of it? Yeah, 15 out of 20, it's pretty good. Question about fractiony group? Decimal group, we'll have to do one quick thing to do the decimal group. What do you think we'll have to do the decimal group?
Make it a fraction.
Make it a fraction. So 0.3, we could go with
3 times.
3/10. 0.2, you could go with,
1/5.
we could go with 1/5. We could even start with 2/10, just see how it goes. 0.8, we could go with
8/10.
8/10, see how it goes. Maybe you'll need to reduce, maybe you won't need to reduce. We can just kind of take it as it comes. But if they drop you a decimal, get a fraction going. If you want to reduce, it never hurts you, but you don't always have to. Somebody jump in now, do the same system on this. Somebody that didn't go yet?
20.
It'll be 20. We go 6 dividing 3 is 2, times the bottom, there's a 20. This one we do have a little bit of a problem. Anybody, even if you answered, why does this one right now have a little bit of a problem?
Because 2 doesn't go to 7.
2 doesn't go into 7. So if we try to do 7 divided by 2, we hit a little bit of a log jam. So the out is what you already wanted to do, and I put you on hold. What did you want to do that I didn't do at first?
Reduce.
Reduce. 2/10 makes a 5th. If the number can't divide the top, reduce the fraction. Because now 7 can divide the 1, and we're good. A new person here at this? There's 4 people out of play, but there's 11 in. It would be a 35, agreed. 7 divides the top is 7, times the bottom, that's a 35. Here, anybody, can we divide right now, or do I need to reduce to make it possible?
Reduce.
I gotta reduce. 8 can't go into 44, but if we reduce, that's
4/5.
4/5, and now we're good. Somebody that didn't take a turn yet?
55.
55 is right. 44 divides the top is 11, multiply the bottom, 55. Question about the decimal zone? I almost said percent, I was ready to jump. What if I give you percents? What's our deal there?
Make a fraction.
How are we gonna do that?
Just put like 25 or 100.
Put 25 over 100. Maybe we'll reduce it if we have to, but we might not even have to. Somebody else, the 10%, what can you do about that? Yep.
1/10.
Maybe we'll need to reduce it. For now, let's just put 10 over 100, see how it goes. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with reducing it. We just might have lost some people if I took that right away. 15%? What can we do about 15%? Just go something quick first. We'll worry about reducing if we get stuck.
15 hours.
Just put 15 out of 100 just to get started. So here, will we need to reduce this? We could. Do we need to, or will the divide just work?
Divide will work.
Divide will work. Here,
Divide will work.
divide will work. Here,
No.
no. So let's reduce that one. Somebody, anybody?
3 out of 20.
3 out of 20 would be a better way to go. Then let's get 3 new people for our last 3 answers there who didn't go yet. For that one. Let's pick on you, because we haven't seen you yet. What do you think for this one?
200.
How many hundred?
200.
200, I agree. The number divides the top, that's 2, times the bottom, that is a 200. Volunteer, or I'll pick on somebody. Don't think we hit you yet today.
300?
I agree with 300. This, dividing the top, is 3, times the bottom, that is a 300. I'm trying to remember who we didn't get. Did we get you yet? Okay. Hit that one for me?
80.
It is 8. So we're going to go number dividing the top is a 4, times the bottom, we're 80. Again, make sure the numbers are always going to be,
Bigger.
the answers are going to get a little bit bigger as we go. If it's a small percentage, they're going to get a lot bigger. So 30 is just a little bit, 10%, that's got to get way big. But if it's like pretty high kind of fraction, it's only going to get a little bigger. Here's another way you could check these. How can we take these numbers and somehow get to there again? If you're looking for a way to check. How could we do something with these numbers and get to this? We could divide them. What's another way we could get to that?
Multiply them.
I don't think so. Something we could do with these 2 numbers and somehow produce this.
11.
Maybe like actually like 11 both goes into them.
That's true.
You could make them a fraction.
Yeah, just make a fraction out of these numbers. If you put 44 on top of 55, how does that get us to here? Just if we divide by 11, just reduce by 11. You know, on this one, we could go 50 out of 200, and then just try to make sure that makes 25%. Now, it can. You could check it that way. If you make a fraction using the original and final numbers, you could check it if you're a checking kind of person. Again, system today, if you take the number and divide by the top, get an answer, which is temporary, but multiply that by the bottom, you're going to be good. If they give you a decimal, make a fraction. If they give you a percent, make a fraction. If the divide isn't going to work, what's the out?
Reduce.
Reduce. Some other day in life, if it didn't divide, you might have to just live with a decimal kind of divide, or a fraction kind of divide. You might have to divide and get like 2.6 and then multiply. That could happen, but it's not going to happen in your book. In the book, everything is going to divide evenly once you get your stuff reduced. There's none that won't divide cooperatively. Question about that? So homework, we're going to go SS, and we're going to go half of VV. SS has 13 of them to start that are fractions. Then they switch, and there's 12 of them that go decimals. When you go to VV, there's 25 of them that have percentages. We don't need to do 25 of them that have percentages. So let's go the first half of VV. We'll go up to 12 on that. So we'll do all of SS, and we'll go VV up to 12 on the percentage one. Question about any of that? We're going to do the rules quizzes. If you want a study minute, you could have a study minute, but I'll mingle around and give those out as people are ready. We could kill the record. Thank you.